Oops. There, now it's on. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Washoe County Board of Commissioners meeting for February 18th. I am running the meeting this morning because unfortunately our vice chair is out, our chairman is out. And so we will start this morning with a Pledge of Allegiance, and we will ask Jackie, would you please lead us? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jackie. And with that, we'll ask the clerk to give us the roll call, please.
Of course. Bob Lucy, Chair, is absent. Marsha Burke-Bigler, Vice Chair.
Here.
Kitty Jung.
Present.
Von Hartung.
Here.
Jeannie Herman.
Here.
County Manager Eric Brown. Here. Nate Edwards, Deputy DA.
Present.
And I'm Jan Galasini, Chief Deputy Clerk. Madam, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And with that, I will turn it over to the County Manager, Mr. Brown, for new employees.
All right. This morning we have new employee introductions. Are we ready?
Then we all.
Come down, if the commissioners can go down front. I gotta come too. All right, so what we're going to do, first of all, thank all of you for being here this morning. We want to give you a chance to shake the hands of the commissioners. So if you can step to the podium and say your name and your department, and then come through the receiving line. Please.
My name is Elmer A. Cub. I'm part of the Community Service and Parks. My position is Range Safety Officer.
My name is Sarah Garcia. I'm at the Public Defender's Office as an Office Support Specialist.
My name's Jordan Groh. I'm the Human Resources Analyst trainee with Human Resources.
My name is Molly Hodges. I'm also in Human Resources as a benefit specialist.
My name's Chelsea Moeller. I'm with the library. I'm a library assistant too.
Okay, thank you for that. So next up, we have the certificates for essential development courses. And this morning, we want to recognize the following individuals. First, I'd like to just say that Washoe County encourages lifelong learning and the professional development of all employees. Administered by the Human Resources Department, Excellence in Public Service is a series of certificate programs designed to support employee development and performance. The completion of these courses over 2 years demonstrates the employee's commitment to continuous personal and professional improvement and to the county's journey of excellence. We are pleased to recognize that commitment today, and we have 4 recipients that I'd like to call up and congratulate and provide the award. The first is Catherine Abachan, who's in the Sheriff's Support Specialist in the Sheriff's Office, and she's completed the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. Catherine? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Drina Bennett, Family Support Supervisors in the District Attorney's Office, and she's completed the Essentials of Management Development Certificate Program. Next, we have Mary Morris, who's in Pretrial Services Center 2 in the District Court, Essentials of Management Development Certificate Program. And then we have Linda Ray Olson, Account Clerk 2 in the Comptroller's Office, and she completed the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. All right.
Right, congratulations, everyone. Let's give them all another round of applause. And thank you to their managers for allowing them to do these classes. They're so important to the county, and we appreciate it. Mr. Manager.
Yes, so next up, we have the Shining Star Certificates, and I'd like to make these awards and invite the recipients who are here to come forward and be recognized. The names I have are of the recipients that RSVP'd. We may have a few others that are with us today, but let's start with Jessica Cabrales. Hi, Jessica. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Robin Douglas. Hi, Robin.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Privilege.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Jessica Gutierrez. There she is. Good morning, Jessica. Congratulations. All right. Next, we have Carol Hobbs. Carol not here today? Don't see Carol, okay. How about Jennifer Howell? There she is. Hi, Jennifer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Linda Jacobs. Hi, Linda. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, we have Kelly Parsons. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
David Moser. Good morning, David. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we have April Ramage. Did I say that right? All right, April.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Kaylin Rollison. Good morning. Good morning. Congratulations. Thank you. Laura Rose. Hi, Laura. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Kara Rosenborough. Doesn't look like Kara's with us this morning. Amanda Schultz. Good morning, Amanda. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vicki Scott. Vicki, you got a fan club. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Karen Stark. Good morning, Karen. Congratulations. Thank you. Colleen Wallace Barnum. Good morning, Colleen. Congratulations. Thank you very much. All right. Is there anyone that I missed? Anyone here that was expecting an award that didn't get one? What is your name, sir?
Timothy Simpson.
Timothy Simpson. Well, Timothy, we'll have to get with you afterwards and make sure that you're recognized. My apologies. All right, that concludes the Shining Star Awards presentation. Okay. Okay, item number 6 is public comment. Comment heard under this item will be limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the commission agenda. The commission will also hear public comment during individual action items with comments limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments are made to the commission as a whole.
I don't have a list of them here.
Yes. First up, we have Ms. Elise Weatherly, and as she approaches the podium, I will put on the record, we got correspondence from Anne Marie Grant.
Okay, thank you.
I understand that I don't have to.
She can lift it up, can't she?
All I'm going to do is lift it up.
She can put it on the overhead, and we'll just,
Thank you, Mr. DeGay.
Yeah, I think there's probably a line that the county would stop short of confiscating people's property in order to give public comment. So, no, I understand, yeah, because it's a good question because, you know, usually if someone brings like a document or something up that is easy to copy and that type of thing, it would go into the record. But I think the speaker could simply put that on the overhead and talk about it and retain it.
Super, thanks. Okay, Mrs. Weatherly, Ms. Weatherly,
Ms.,
if you...
yes, Ms.,
Would
please.
you launch the overhead? Would you give us the
It doesn't
overhead?
matter to me. It's just like, it's kind of a moot point in a way. I just wanted to let you guys know, Elise Weatherly, Washoe County resident, what I have done is I've worn a T-shirt because it's like I'm airing my past. Back in the day, I was one of the few people that were in a rock band. And the theme of this album, Covered at Granny's House, by the way, was Invisible Woman. And guess what? I was invisible. Obviously, the photographer, we can't see my face even there, which is interesting. But the photographer saw that I was real, and he took my picture. But anytime I would be in the band and I'd say, our set list stinks. And it was a terrible set list, right? Nothing. Nobody would listen to a word I had to say. And so I got confirmation from one of the guys at Delmar back in the days. He goes, "What, you guys named Whitewater?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You should be named Backwash." And I went, "You're absolutely right. It's a horrible, horrible set." We were a good band, but the leaders didn't care one thing about what I had to say. So what I'm going to do is from now on, I have alluded to this, I'm going to kind of start speaking up in public. And I might not do it in the sweetest voice or anything, but I would change so many things around here. You know what I would start with? I would start with your, "We will begin shortly," and the time goes forward. I would move it backwards because we're starting from a point going to zero. What I'm seeing is that people say they know there's a problem, but somebody else will take care of it. That's how we are, right? That was never the way I was in a boss, by the way. Those problems got solved. I would check on the outside there. I would do a crosswalk where the roundabout is, because you don't have any place to walk there, just little things like that. I would have better communication between departments. Yes, I would. I would, if I were in charge, I would have a mediator for the small claims court in Reno and Sparks. But in Reno, I wouldn't let the accused have 2 people in there and the accuser to only have 1. I would have equal representation, because what happened was those guys got their way. I never went to see the judge. They made promises that I forgot to write them down. I forgot to have the promises written down. So when Community Bible Church didn't keep their promise, I had not a leg to stand on. I would go into those courtrooms and I would say, if you want something, document it, write it down, follow up on it. I'd be like the personal private attorney, because of all the things that I've gone through where people have made promises and didn't keep them. Guess what? If I'm going to make a promise, I'm going to try to keep it. And if I don't, I'll say, sorry, I have to kind of negotiate just a little bit here. But the problem is that people don't seem to want to hear the truth. Like the likes of me, I'm going with a smile on my face. Did you know that we're all born under the wrath of God? Did you know that? And there's only one way out? They don't want to hear it. So you have to be quiet and be politically correct and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nobody else signed in, Madam Chair.
All right. No one else wish to speak public comment? We will close public comment and bring it back to the board. And with that, we're on to item number 7. Mr. Manager.
Item number 7, the commissioners and county manager announcements, reports, and updates to include boards and commission updates, requests for information or topics for future agendas.
Have anything, Mr. Manager?
I have nothing today.
Okay. Commissioners, I don't see anybody signed in. Anybody have anything? Commissioner Harmon. Commissioner Hartung.
Hey, thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to start this with a thank you to Sheriff Balaam, and then a request for a 2-hour agenda item at some point. Sheriff Balaam has been so kind as to work with us to get an extremely large structure donated, some 20,000 square feet. And then we had an agenda item already at flood management to allow that structure to be put on a piece of flood management property temporarily as an overflow shelter. And so I'd like very much to have the sheriff work with the manager. Hopefully we can pull this all together. It's going to take some resources to get it down here. It has to be moved within a certain period of time, but I'd like an agenda item to come back to us to work on that, along with social services and the sheriff and collectively the region. And I'm sure that the CHAB board will hear this, but ultimately to utilize as an overflow so that we can start getting people off the river into a safe, secure, warm place. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Herman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 2 things. One is, a couple weekends ago, we had 2 fairly major fires, and one was started by somebody with an ash bucket that had ashes that were coals in it, and they started the fire. The other fire, on the one on Peavine, it said that that shooters had caused that fire. So I have a problem because that one that was started by shooters was advertised or put on the radio and talked about over and over and over for days. The one that started the fire with the ashes, nothing. You never heard a thing. Either the ones that are started with ash buckets full of coals gets the same amount of presence on the radio, and I know somebody's in charge of that. So I want to make sure that in the future, both types of fires get equal treatment or none, whatever it takes. Because I think that's an unconstitutional issue. I truly do. We are singling out shooters, and we still haven't found a place for them to shoot safely. The second item is something that I brought up about 4 years ago and asked for help. I went and I got an engineer to do maps so we'd have a good start on our RS 2477 roads. I think it's very important that we have those for all the people that have use of them and not have them just be lost in time. They need to be recorded, and the state is willing to help us in any way they can. So I said the same thing 4 years ago, and I haven't been approached. I haven't heard anything come up on the agendas about it, and it was something I asked for at least a 2-hour issue on. So that's my spiel for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Herman. Commissioner Jung, you said you were okay. And I am okay also. I don't have anything additional to add, so we will close item number 7 and move on to donations. And we have asked Commissioner Jung to please do the donations for us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I would like to direct the public's attention to item 8, which is our donations, and that's item 8 Alpha to 8 Charlie. Item 8A is a donation from the Regional Animal Services, or to Regional Animal Services of $10,000, $621.84 for the last quarter, and that is for the use of what our actual mission statement is from Regional Animal Services to the humane care and treatment of sick, injured, stray, abandoned, or at-risk animals. And this, again, I can't state enough for the record what an animal-loving community this is. I was helpful in the 2001 property tax override vote, which we were told by somebody who used to be a chair here, as a matter of fact, he's no longer on the board, that the voters would never vote for animals in Washoe County in 2001. And the win that we had even surprised us. This is when we went to the Chamber of Commerce to talk to the then president of the chamber, and he said nobody would ever vote for animals in Washoe County. So I love to remind that for the record, because we worked our behinds off to get this done. Item 8B1 is we have received about $35,000 worth of donations to the Human Services Agency to support child welfare activity, and that is most largely what we get for that is when people go to jury duty and they decide they do not want the pittance that the county pays them for being at jury duty, and instead would like that go to animals or to Human Services Agency. As you know, Human Services Agency, we treat from cradle to the grave, so we're always in need of money, volunteers, and resources. So we thank people for their generosity in paying it forward when they get paid for jury duty. Item 8B2 is also to the Human Services Agency, about $2,160 in market value, and for specifically to Senior Services Fund to support the Washoe County Senior Center, which is where we do our congregate meals, which for many of our seniors is their only meal of the day at lunch. And then item 8C is a recommendation to accept $300 from the Fire Shows West to the Sheriff's Office for their Citizen Corps program to buy food and operating supplies. And the Citizen Corps program really is a great opportunity for citizens to learn what we've been trying to teach them ever since the recession, which is government cannot take care of your every single need in your every single neighborhood. So hopefully somebody is stepping up in your hood and saying, I will be the Citizen Corps to volunteer. And there's many different resources that they do. They help with evacuation, they help for search and rescue. And I know REMSA is also doing a pilot program with the Sheriff's Office to teach people in different neighborhoods how to use the AED for cardiac arrest, because sometimes we can't get an ambulance to you right away either, but if we have them centrally located in different neighborhoods, we are seeing evidence-based that that actually saves lives. So thank you, citizens of Washoe County. We appreciate all of your commitment to each of our values and missions, and we are abundantly clear that we couldn't get anything done in this county if it weren't for the generosity of our citizens. I then will go to item 9, which is Commissioner Special District Disbursement Funds. And all of these commissioners are far too humble to ring their own bells, so let me ring it for them. 9A1 is from Commissioner District 1, Marcia Burke-Bigler. She has directed that her $8,800 go to the I don't even see where it's going. County Office of the County Manager to support arts and cultural program throughout the county. I'm not really sure what exactly that is. I'm guessing, is that the art trail? It's the art trail, which we all know her constituents are big patrons of the art and probably keep most of our arts and culture going here in terms of the more, what would I call cosmopolitan, right? People of the world events that they love to go to, such as the opera or the Reno Philharmonic Orchestra, et cetera. So thank you, Commissioner Burke-Bigler, for that disbursement, and we all appreciate that we all get to use that art trail as well. 9A2 is from Commissioner Von Hartung, District 4. He is dispersing a total of $17,500. $12,500 will go to the Community Foundation of Western Nevada to support youth engaged in service, the YES Fund. I believe he's done this several years in a row. And $5,000 to the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District to support the Ash Can program, which was just mentioned by Commissioner Herman, and we still have people that don't know how to use an ash can or how to dispose of their ashes. I mean, sorry to say, if you've gone camping, you always, always, always make sure it's sopping wet. Put your hand in it. If it burns, you're not done putting it out. And then item 9A3, district special funds from Commissioner Jean Herman, District 5. She is giving a $1,500 to the Via Conservation District. I think she supports their whole budget there to foster and support natural resource conservation, because it's an underfunded but very important group of hers up in Via, pretty much all the way into our frontier part of our county. And then $1,500 to the Washoe Story Conservation District to support invasive weed eradication and wildfire prevention program, also a huge issue, most especially in Commissioner Herman's district. I thank you, commissioners, for using your discretionary funds in a way that I believe is in response to your constituents, and globally, something that we all appreciate your activism and you're putting your money where your mouth is, and thank you. We love you for that.
Is that in the form of a motion?
And that's in form of a motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me ask the district attorney, can we do this in one motion, since part of it is donations and part of it is the consent agenda?
Yes, you can combine items on the agenda. You will need to call public comment.
Yes.
Overall, for anybody who wants to speak on any of the 8 or 9 items, but the agenda does allow you to combine items, and so I think you are able to do that.
Super. So the motion combines item 8 and item 9, and I do have Miss Elise Weatherly signed up to speak. And I do have a second, right? Commissioner Hartung?
Hi, Elise Weatherly. It used to be Probst, a name that I should not have taken, the name that is on that album, and I wish I could reverse. What I will say is the animals. I did a little research with ASCAP. I put out a YouTube video that they had this plea, please help us with these animals. So I put out a YouTube video and I said, Nevada Humane Society does a great job. Washoe County Sheriff's does a great job. Just call the police if you see an animal in dire straits, right? We do take care of our animals. I think that the entire country could follow on our footsteps with that. That's number one. Number two is the thank you for the child services. We've actually come to a point where we could use some help, me and mine. And there are some people that have actually helped us, and we're very grateful for that. I always thought, well, if you're senior, you know, you should have saved up for your life. Well, then all of a sudden you've got like perhaps a terminal brain tumor, and you've got guardianship of your grandson, and you lose your job from the Eldorado. I mean, just little things like that, right? No big deal. Who plans for stuff like that? And so I'm grateful to this community for taking care of things. Just to let you know, too, the arts, I would love to be a part of the art, but I can't draw worth beans. However, there is a lady named Candy at Promenade. She had a display of her artwork in one of the libraries, and I think in your district, Candida is what she calls herself. And I went there, and I was just absolutely impressed. Well, recently I decided, since I am still alive, which is to the surprise of the medical community, that I will go and be a part of our community again. So I bought very expensive tickets for the Reno Philharmonic. And why did I do that? Because the lead soloist there, Dustin Budish, used to be under my wings at the Sparks Christian Fellowship. We were probably the first band he ever played in, and he was the one that sent me this Power Puff keychain, right? He's going, and I thought, oh, I'm not like that. What's the matter with you? Then I realized, yeah, he's got me nailed. I am not the ballerina figurine that my ex-husband, who is dead from meth, and by the way, he was transporting it between Reno and Arizona. He was doing that, and I know the name of the person who's still doing it, but I can't get anyone to listen. So he gave me a ballerina, and I'm going to crush that in a YouTube video, and then I'm going to get some pictures of me and Dustin with our arms around each other. And I just wanted to say thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other public comment. Madam Clerk, do you have any? Okay, we have no one else signed in, so we'll close public comment. And we have a motion and a second to approve both items 8 and 9. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Please affirm your vote above. And the vote passes unanimously with the absence of our chair, Commissioner Lucy. And with that, we will go on to the final public comment. Mr. Manager?
Yes, public comment. Comment heard under this item will be limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the commission agenda. The commission will also hear public comment during individual action items with comment limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments are to be made to the commission as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I see no public comment.
I have nobody signed in.
We have no public comment. Okay, we will close public comment, bring it back to the board for item 11. Mr. Manager.
Item 11 is commissioners and county managers' announcements, reports, and updates to include boards and commission updates, requests for information, or topics for future agendas. Discussion among commissioners will take place on this item. And Madam Co-Chair, I would mention that we should plan for an attorney-client privilege session today.
Okay,
That's not on the,
that's not on our agenda, but we need to do.
Yes, and at the conclusion of the meeting.
Okay, good. All right.
that is my only comment.
That's your only comment?
Yes.
Commissioners, anybody else with anything? Nothing? Okay, with that, we are adjourned.